Good morning, everybody. Hi, welcome. Great to see you all. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Annette. And hi, Anne. Good to see you. Hope you're all well. Anne and Matthew, I haven't seen you too often recently, so it's lovely to see you here today. All right, so we're a few minutes early, a couple of minutes early. I always go 2 minutes early just to make sure everything seems to be working okay. And so far, it looks like our signal's all right. So the other day, I was just ridiculous. I showed you where the modem was in relation to where I'm sitting, and I just couldn't understand why the signal was poor. Anyway, it looks like everything's holding so far, so that's good. So what we're doing today is, I don't know if you recall, we went a few weeks ago to the Hunter Region Botanic Gardens, and we wandered through the palm forest and also down to the water's edge. We saw some sculptures and we walked through a sculpture trail. So on this occasion, and if, as you recall, the signal there is dreadful. I just cannot stream from there. It's just not possible. Oh, thanks, Annette. Great. I'm glad it's not blurry at all. Just ridiculous the other day. So we returned to see the orchids, and it's a little tricky because some of them come out earlier than others, and I wanted to be there at the optimal time, but it seemed that we may have just slightly missed it. The rock orchids that dominate the ground areas had just finished, but the rest of them were looking absolutely beautiful. And we also visit the food tucker part of the garden, just briefly, and we also ventured out into the succulent and cacti garden, which is really huge. Hi Tish, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. So the banner picture that I've used for this YouTube video, or the YouTube presentation, is from that day. So we saw the beautiful orchids in the trees. We also went into the orchid houses and saw some of the stunning displays there. So let's kick it off. Let's get started. It's not long, and I've got a little treat for you right at the end. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, let's get into it. So we'll pop this over here, and let's go. We've come back to the Hunter Region Botanic Gardens, and we are here to see if the orchids are out now. Hopefully we should see some beautiful orchids today. So let's head off and see what we see. Just saw a pretty little dragonfly, but he's not going to stick around for me to video, so let's keep moving. And we do need to be aware that the weather is warming up, so there is a good chance that we'll come across reptiles coming out of their torpor. There's lots of activity here today. Lots of volunteers are here. This is the entire gardens. So we are currently here, and we are headed to, let's see, orchid garden, orchid house. We're also going to check out the Aboriginal Plants Trail and the succulent garden. We'll head there today as well. So we're looking at a trail that includes this area here in the middle, and then out along this path here. So you could say that it's the inner circle of the entire garden area. So heading towards the orchid house. The Hunter Region Botanic Gardens is just a little north of Newcastle. What we're seeing here is the first emergence of the kangaroo paw. Lovely flower here. It's a lovely peaceful area alongside a rather busy main road, so we are going to hear noise from the main road. Started off okay, and I'm just thinking it probably would be a good idea to put my microphone in. Okay, so to get to the orchid garden, we need to pass first of all through the area that's been planted out with palms and ferns. This is a lovely area with a beautiful rainforest feel about it. There's a lot of maintenance going on today, so the fountain is not running, but normally there is a waterfall, a man-made waterfall in this spot here. And then we walk through an area with lots of bird's nest ferns, and bromeliads. And there's a fern house just over here we can have a look at. It's only small. I love the colouring on this one. Deep reds. And then they stole my idea. Painting the mural on the back wall as the background, the backdrop. That's a really unusual looking one. So then we continue along the trail. It's a lovely bird's nest fern just here with the new foliage. Looking really beautiful, really sculptural. Lovely delicate maidenhair ferns alongside, I don't know what the name of this is, but it's really interesting leaf shape. And then all of a sudden we come across the orchids. Some of them have finished the flowering at different times. Makes it difficult to coordinate your visits here, but we do have still many, many beautiful, beautiful orchids on display. And these ones here, look at them, they're stunning, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let's see if the orchid house is open, and we'll go in and have a look and see what's on display there. We've got this beautiful orchid mural on the side of it. So let's go and have a look. The sun's making it difficult here. Very difficult. Okay. So we had to get quite close to get the sun out of the view. That sun again. Hard to get the picture with the sun in the way. I thought you said it was open. It's closed. Oh, okay. Tricky. And before we head in here, apparently there's a resident python in this area, and it looks like at some stage he's dropped his skin. Look at that. We've heard about the resident python, and I wonder what this feather is from. That's quite big. We've got some samples of orchids on the door here for closer inspection. Let's see what's in. Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. Look at this Hoya. Makes the one on my back fence look like a dwarf. Look at that. Wow. Oh, look at these. They're so delicate. They're so tiny. And then we have a bit of an explainer up here, world distribution of orchids. So basically there are orchids everywhere, just different kinds, different sizes, different shapes. Some are perfumed, some aren't. We have had a lady in here on previous visits explaining some of the orchids to us. But there's also information panels here as well. Hard cane, dendrobiums. Doesn't give me any more wisdom, I'm afraid. They're just pretty. But look at this one up here. How interesting. And then we have these beautiful ones. We saw these already. They look very similar to the ones outside in the garden. That's interesting. Look at the sun. Look at that. Have a look over here. Masses and masses, all different sizes, all different shapes. And I think there's a vanilla in here somewhere. I'm just looking.
Hi. Sorry, mate.
This orchid house is normally kept under lock and key because unfortunately people come in here and actually help themselves, which is really an ordinary thing to do, isn't it? Look at these though, and there's a strong perfume. I'm not sure where it's coming from because in my experience most of the orchids that I'm familiar with aren't scented. So I'm not sure where the perfume's coming from. These are beautiful. And then down here we've got this little stripy one. Look at that. And that's quite spectacular. Let's see if I can get it from here. Wow, look at that. That's quite spectacular, isn't it? Alrighty, so that's the interior of the tropical orchid house. And there is a second orchid house just over here under this beautiful gum tree, majestic, and this incredible blue sky that we have today. The kangaroo paws are out. This is a real treat for honey-eating birds. Look at that little green spider. Oh, look at that. Let me see if I can get closer to it. Huh, cute. He's having breakfast. More of these really pretty ones attached to the tree. I think they call them epiphytic, as in they don't need to put roots down into the soil. They can live off the nutrients that come from the tree and the surrounding forest, I think is how it works. We have a bromeliad house in here, but there's nothing in flower at the moment. It's quite a big bromeliad. Look, we have a koala in a tree. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay. And this is the second orchid house. I might be mistaken, but I think there are more Australian native orchids in here. This one's quite spectacular. It's on a really long, tall spike. It's probably half my height, that spike. And then there's the common, I think there's Cymbidium. Someone might correct me on that. I think they're called Cymbidium orchids over the back there. And this is really pretty, this little dainty purple one. The sunlight's making it a little bit challenging. That one over the back there. Just trying to get it in focus. And once again, there's a very strong perfume. I'm not sure what's causing that. And there's a description of the orchid family. So basically it says the word orchid is derived from the Greek word which refers to the testicular appearance of the paired tubers of the terrestrial European orchis. There we go. Alrighty. So we've seen the orchids and now we're heading towards the native foods garden. We'll have a little look at that. And then also at the succulent garden. So they've maintained a lot of native bushland in this area here. listening to bird calls. Keeping an eye out for snakes. Noisy miners, I think. Watch out. You just about backed into him. Kookaburra went over there, I think. Yeah, there, 2 kookaburras. Okay, I'm going to see if I can zoom in on them. There's one there, and the other one just below it on the same branch. One's flown off. And off he goes. Just a little kookaburra call we just heard. So I believe, I don't know the trails off by heart here, but I believe we're on the Bush Foods trail, maybe. I think we should go this way. What have you got, a Banksia leaf? We've got a bush food. I don't think so. I zoomed in. I don't think this is bush food, but it's a typical Banksia leaf, a dead Banksia leaf, where you can see that sawtooth edge to the leaf. Alright, what does this tell me? Lomandra and Dianella. I believe that the blueberries from the Dianella can be eaten. It says the roots, yeah, okay. Edible berries, the blue edible berries on the Dianella, which is, I don't know. The Dianella is that plant there with the tiny, tiny little blue flowers. And it gets blueberries. Some sort of little yellow flower down here, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know what that bird is. We've got an artwork over here, representative of Indigenous culture. It is depicting a coolamon, which is a traditional utensil for, I believe it's for grinding grains and carrying things, but it's been decorated by an artist, a local artist by the name of Jason Russell, and in beside it is a snake on a log. There we go. First snake we've seen today. I don't know what that is. Jason Russell's art we have seen in the visitor centre in Nelson Bay, and also I think on the side of a building he's got a mural in Nelson Bay as well. What are we looking at? The Dianella, that's this one here. So that's the Dianella flower, which becomes blueberries, which apparently are edible. Here we are. We are on the food trail. So it says that fruit is food. It's also used for art. Its roots are food. Its leaves can be used for making nets and baskets and traps, clothes and cord. So it has quite a lot of uses. Aboriginal Plants Trail, yeah. So I possibly would come back when I have a better understanding of where the bush foods are, so I don't have to go hunting around looking for them. So at this point here, we are at the start of the succulent garden, I believe, that we have right in front of us a rather spectacular Gymea lily. And they've built this up into like an arid garden, so we have these mounds with gravel, to create an arid garden area or zone. Okay, this is quite pretty. And let's see if I can get it in focus. And it's difficult with the wind. I don't know. It is, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess we can go over that way. Another kookaburra we just missed, just took off. These are really big kangaroo paw spikes. We used to have some growing at our place in the Blue Mountains, but I don't believe they ever got this big. It's very, very tall.
5 metres.
Oh, there's another kookaburra too. And now we've entered the succulent and cactus garden. I love this plant. It's the way the sun comes through the foliage. Yeah. It's a kind of grevillea, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe not. It might be a hakea. This plant's economical with its foliage. Yeah. All right, let's
Go.
I'm just trying to work out which way to go, that's all. Yeah, I think this is a dead end in here.
It's from all around the world.
I believe so. That one looks really fluffy, but I don't think I'd like to cuddle it.
Flower coming
Yeah.
in. Canary Islands.
Crown of thorns. There's the old mother-in-law's tongue, Sansevieria. That's tall. Look at that one. Sun's in the way. This has got a flower coming out.
Because cacti don't really grow that fast, do they?
I guess it varies. I don't know. But yeah.
Hence the light.
I don't know what that is, but it's climbing all the way up this gum tree. such an impressive garden, this cactus garden, and cactus and succulents. It just keeps going and going and going. I think we've reached the boundary of it over here. And I just got a battery warning. On this video I've been going 15 minutes, but I've been going a lot longer than that. Look at this thing here. I'm not sure what that's meant to be.
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot? Yeah, maybe. Well, it's not an echidna. Yeah, I don't know. Don't forget to look up. Always look up. Yeah, I did one of those back there. All right, I'm going to finish up because my battery's about to die. So, and I'm not sure where we are. We think we know, but we're not absolutely certain. There's a sculpture over here. We do get goannas in here. I was hoping to see one, but in the absence of a real one, we've got a goanna on a tree there. Hi. All right, so we have made it around about 2/3 of the way around the walk, which I believe we're in that spot there right now. I think that's where we are. And we're now heading back towards the visitors centre, which is over in this area here. So we'll keep walking this way, but I think I will end the video here because my battery's about to die. And this is a sculpture on the way back to the visitor centre of Joseph Banks, who was with Captain Cook when they first landed in Australia. And this is the flower arrangement in the visitors centre, which is absolutely stunning. All right, so that was the Botanic Gardens. Where am I? Come back. Where am I? There I am. That was the Botanic Gardens and the Orchids and the Succulent Garden. I hope you all enjoyed that. So what I was going to do is I've got another very brief vintage video, and this one's in Ireland. So basically what happened is we were there with my work. I was working for Canon in London, Canon UK, and I won an incentive trip. There was a team of about, I think there were eight of us on this trip. So it was a 4-day weekend, and we went to Ireland and stayed in an absolutely stunning property called Adair Manor. And you're going to see a little bit of the tiny little bit of the interior. You can see the outside, some of the grounds, and also we were taken out to dinner to a banquet in a medieval themed actual castle that was dated from medieval times, but it's been restored and refurnished with medieval themed furniture, and then they hold banquets there in a medieval style, which is really fun. So you want to see the mural first, Annette? All right, okay. Oh, she's so bossy. So does this mean you're not going to stick around for the island bit of the presentation today? Okay. All right. Here we go. We have some new critters. Did you see the cockatoos? I'm not sure if you saw the cockatoos. Okay. Here we go. So I can't see what you're seeing right now, but here we go. We've got the two birds there, the cormorant and the egret, and then as we go along here, we see the black cockatoos, and over here, just slightly, you can see you can just make out the little kangaroos there, and then over here we've got a goanna on a tree over there, and there we go. Okay, and my feet are cold because the grass is wet. Back inside. Okay, all right, did you all see that? I went out barefoot and it was a lot of dew on the grass and my feet are cold and wet. So the things I do for you, honestly. Okay. All right. You're staying for the whole thing. Oh, good. All right. So let's go to Ireland now. Are we ready? We ready to go to Ireland? Let's get this up here and put that up there. There it is.
As you can see, it's a lovely view from our room. County Adair. We're here for 4 days. Care of Lynn.
So this was in about 1990. And that's the theme tune to an Australian soap opera called Sons and Daughters. The indoor pool, this was all our team and some partners. So we're in the grounds of Adair Manor here. And that is the manor house. Wait for it.
Not a bad home away from home.
I actually located
Yeah, no. They said take your
the
time.
rates. There, look. 47% less than usual at 1,296 Australian dollars per night. Bargain. So that means it's around about 2,500 is the normal rate. And when we were there was also Anglo-Irish talks going on. So this is the time when the Irish still very much there was a lot of stuff there. And there were Secret Service men walking along the banks of the river. Let's look out the window and see them controlling the river because there were talks going on in the hotel.
What time's the wiki go?
The golf course is across the river, so it's part of the property.
Today's grudge match is between the Basingstoke Blunderers and the Heston Hackers. Sam Sneed coming up to the tee, checking that he's got his balls. Grudge match is about to start.
They really did, and we were so lucky to fall into
Teeing
this.
off, I think, might be Tony Worlds.
He was my manager.
Oh, it was a practice shot.
Where'd it go? Left. Oh, no, left it low. Good one. That's all right.
Oh, this boy's done it before.
In search of the lost balls. Tony Wills heading towards
Yeah,
Southern
who's coming?
Ireland.
Tell them to what?
Donny heading towards the Atlantic.
We called him Donny. His real name was Dave because his surname was Osmond. So Donny Osmond.
A lovely shot.
Oh, come get your printer.
A beautiful cricket swing. Bob the Swinger Swan. Beautiful cover drive. Reg beat the crap out of it boundary.
So for those who don't know,
Two
Richard's
practice
using
shots
some
and-
cricket terms here as well.
Oh yes. Where does it go? It's a difficult shot for Mr. Walder, but he's using the wall iron.
I suspect you're a Colin Farrell type, Annette. What do you think? This is the dining room. There I am in the corner, just briefly. And this is Bunratty Castle, where we went for the banquet dinner. Being welcomed.
Strategic site, commanding as it does the entrance by sea to the port of Limerick.
First, to recognise the importance of this site were the Anglo-Normans, and they built the first castle here in 1251.
By the end of the 13th century, a sizable settlement had grown up about the site, and it was granted a licence for the holding of fairs and markets.
Local Irish chieftains, notably the O'Briens and McNamara, resenting the presence of a strong Norman settlement in this their ancient territory, laid siege to the castle.
And indeed, noble guests, throughout the following 4 centuries, the castle was frequently under siege. Then the castle fell into disrepair until
1954, when the castle was rediscovered by Lord Gort. And it is to his foresight and generosity that we are indebted for our presence here this evening.
he lovingly restored the castle, refurbished it from his own collection of medieval furniture and furnishings, so that today the castle is in essence as it was in the days of its greatest glory.
And indeed, it is to these halcyon days of splendour, the era of the great Earl of Thomond at the turn of the 16th century, that we return, in spirit at least, for this evening's banquet.
You are no longer 20th century visitors from many lands, but noble lords and ladies of neighbouring clans of the country.
So they made one
I crown you Earl of Thomond. I'm asking you and your gracious lady to take the place of honour.
Okay, so that was that. All right, let's bring me back up. So just a little short visit to Ireland. What did you think? Did you enjoy that? It was absolutely stunning that weekend. Sarah says, I would love to visit Ireland. My husband visited once in college and said it's beautiful. It really is, Sarah. So we've been to Ireland 3 times. So Ronnie, you lived there for a while. How wonderful. I have another friend who lived there for a while. We came back through Ireland on our way back from Europe last year. So we spent 2 nights with one of my former work colleagues, Colin, and his wife, who is a Gaelic speaker. She's actually part of the community that preserves the Gael Tacht, and they took us out. Ronnie, speaking of going out drinking, they took us out to the local community centre, which was a walk around the block from where they lived, and there was wonderful Irish music, and we were made to feel very welcome, and it's just amazing. Ireland. Anytime you can spend in Ireland is amazing. All right, so that's basically it for today. Later on this week, I'm going to bring you the recording of the Oyster and Timber Festival, which was another signal bust. I've done a touring in that town. We checked the signal. It seemed to be okay, but yes, it was another fail. So I'm bringing you the recording of that. And I think what we might do after we do the Oyster Festival is we might go for a lost day go-karting in London. How about that? What do you think of a bit of go-karting? So that might be what I bring you as a bit of a bonus after the recording in the Oyster Festival. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. You all saw me tell you about my situation with Facebook. My Facebook account has been disabled. Apparently, tens of thousands of people are going through the same thing. Some people have had their accounts restored. Not very many, just a few. So I'm hoping that I won't have to do. I mean, I've sent messages. I've submitted reports through Instagram. There's no actual way to appeal it through the normal process. They don't send you an email. They don't give you a link. There's nothing you can do. But they tell you if you don't appeal, your account's going to be permanently disabled after 30 days. So it is a real issue. And I'm doing whatever I can. I also tried to create another account. Ronnie, I know you've been through this, but this is a little bit different. This isn't just a suspension. This is actually a disabled account. So I tried to create a second account, and you've got to do this thing where you face the camera and then go like this and that and look up, and they use some sort of facial recognition. And the account that I tried to create, the backup one, was immediately disabled. So obviously they're comparing your face with known data, and they're going, no, we've already disabled this account, so this one doesn't get a free ride. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem. So all I ask of everyone, please, is share. Please encourage people to follow my channel. Share with your community. Share with former haygoers. If you're on a tour with other haygoers, please invite them into our group. Invite them to see our calendar. Annette's managed. She's holding the fort in the group, and other than that, we're really just trying to hold things together for the former and growing community. So Annette says, I need her back. I'm giving her lots of jobs to do constantly. So yeah. Please do what you can to help us keep the community together. I need followers on my channel. That's one thing I need. So if you can help out there, that'd be great. All right, everyone. Thanks again. And I will see you on, I think it's Thursday. Today's Monday here right now. It is 7 a.m. The reason I changed the time was that we are heading off in about 15 minutes to go to the pool for exercise. And I'd inadvertently scheduled previously right in the middle of that time slot, which wasn't going to work. Can't be 2 places at once, unfortunately. So there you go. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon. And I'm always very, very grateful. Do you want me to make a video of Coco or Jemima for you to What, for the facial recognition thing? This is what I showed Annette this last night, and I said this is what I'll use for my next account that I try and set up. I'll use this one. And we can do the left, right, up. Did that work? Do you think Facebook would be fooled if I try to use that? Oh, I don't know. All right, okay. It's awesome with to-do lists. Thanks, everyone. See you on the next one. Okay, bye for now. And thank you, everyone, for your support. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye.